Dune 3 is already in the works, but don't expect it to hit theaters anytime soon. Denis Villeneuve is still writing the script, and filming won't start until at least 2026. But no worries, things are moving forward, and we'll keep you updated every step of the way. Denis Villeneuve recently opened up about why he jumped back into Dune 3 sooner than expected. Dune Part 2 was a massive hit, both critically and commercially, but making it, and the first film, was a long and challenging process. Initially, Villeneuve planned to take a break before tackling Dune 3, which will adapt Dune Messiah and continue Paul Atreides' journey. In a chat with Collider, Villeneuve explained that the overwhelmingly positive response to Dune Part 2 changed his mind. He was deeply moved by how audiences around the world reacted to the film, which gave him both inspiration and a sense of responsibility to keep the story going. He's especially eager to dive into the aftermath of Chani having her heart broken and the beginning of the Holy War. He said, "Chani's heart is broken, and it's the beginning of the Holy War, and that's where we left, so in a way, I'd say it's quite similar. I was expecting to do something else before, but frankly, that's the inspiration that came to my mind as I took a break this summer and was going back and finishing the story. I was really moved by the way Part 2 was received by cinephiles around the world, and I felt an appetite and a desire to see more and a responsibility to finish that story." Villeneuve jumping back into Dune 3 earlier than planned means production might not be too far off. While he's still writing, he previously mentioned 2026 as a possible start date, though he's also made it clear that nothing is set in stone, and these films take time to make, and this one is going to be the biggest yet. Besides Timothée Chalamet's Paul Atreides and Zendaya's Chani, we'll definitely see the return of Florence Pugh's Princess Irulan Carino. Irulan, the daughter of the former Emperor Shaddam IV, was introduced in Dune Part 2 and quickly became one of the most intriguing characters. Thanks to her Bene Gesserit training, she skillfully navigates political games, using her father's influence to secure her position. While Paul only sees their marriage as a political move to solidify his rule and legitimize their future child, Irulan has her own complicated motives. Her role in Dune 3 is set to be even more significant. As a prisoner of war trapped in a loveless marriage, her sole purpose, at least in Paul's eyes, is to produce an heir. But with Paul still devoted to Chani, the situation becomes even more politically charged. If Villeneuve decides to continue beyond Dune Messiah, Irulan could even take center stage in the franchise. Her arc is filled with power struggles, personal conflict, and a fight for influence, making her one of the most compelling characters moving forward. Another is Alia Atreides, played by Anya Taylor-Joy. While her role was small in the last one, Alia is set to become a major player in Dune 3 and beyond. Born shortly before the Harkonnen invasion of Arrakis, Alia is unique because she possesses the collective consciousness of the Bene Gesserit, despite being just a child. Given the time jump between Dune Part 2 and Dune Messiah, it's highly likely that Taylor-Joy will return to fully embody the character. In Dune Messiah, Alia plays a crucial role in maintaining House Atreides' power from behind the scenes. She also gets involved in a secretive assassination plot, bringing some of the most personal and suspenseful storytelling in the saga. As Dune 3 progresses, Alia's importance will only grow, making her one of the most fascinating characters moving forward. One of the standout aspects of Frank Herbert's Dune series is its expansive timeline, spanning multiple generations. Paul's story is just one part of the larger saga, and characters like Alia and Irulan truly highlight what makes these books so compelling in the long run. Another we have is Reverend Mother Gaius Mohiam. Among the many Reverend Mothers in the Dune universe, Gaius Mohiam stands out as one of the most influential. She was responsible for training Lady Jessica in the Bene Gesserit ways and was the one who tested Paul with the Gom Jabbar in Dune Part 1. Her ultimate goal has always been to orchestrate the birth of Kwisatz Haderach, a male Bene Gesserit capable of wielding immense psychic power. However, when Paul claims that title in Dune Messiah, she completely rejects the idea. In Dune Messiah, Mohiam actively works against Emperor Paul, seeing him as an abomination who arrived too soon and under the wrong conditions. She believes Lady Jessica defied the Bene Gesserit's plans by having a son instead of the prophesied daughter, which disrupted their long-term breeding program. Her opposition to Paul becomes a major part of the story, reinforcing the book's themes of religious manipulation, power struggles, and the unintended consequences of prophecy. Next up, we've got Stilgar. He's the leader of the Fremen, and Paul earns his respect at the end of Dune by defeating Jamis in combat. Stilgar is deeply religious and fully believes that Paul is the chosen one destined to lead the Fremen toward their dream of turning Arrakis green. His unwavering faith helps rally the Fremen to take part in Paul's holy war, ultimately securing Paul's rule over the Empire. Paul, of course, doesn't hesitate to take advantage of Stilgar's loyalty in Dune Messiah. After Paul takes the throne, Stilgar is put in charge of Arrakis while Paul focuses on ruling the Imperium. His job is to help guide the Fremen as they work toward their vision of a greener planet, something Paul predicted before ascending to power. Stilgar also leads the Fremen into battle on Paul's behalf, earning a reputation as both a fierce warrior and a skilled commander. And finally, we've got Duncan Idaho. One of the biggest surprises in Dune Messiah is the return of Duncan, the Atreides soldier who was killed when the Harkonnens invaded Arrakis. He was one of Paul's closest friends, which makes his comeback a real game-changer. He's brought back as a Ghola, basically a reanimated version of himself that can be controlled by those who created him. His new masters use him to infiltrate the Imperium and attempt to assassinate Paul. Duncan's return is one of the most exciting twists in the story. His friendship with Paul is put to the test as the Emperor struggles with whether he can still trust him. On top of that, his comeback introduces a potential romance with Alia Atreides. In the book, it's a minor subplot, but Villeneuve could easily expand on it in his next Dune film. Another thing Villeneuve could expand on in his next Dune film is Dune Prophecy, which is already laying the foundation for Dune 3. Dune Prophecy is a 6-part series based on Sisterhood of Dune, written by Frank Herbert's son, Brian Herbert, and Kevin J. Anderson. Set over 10,000 years before Paul Atreides' rise, it explores the origins of the Bene Gesserit and how they secretly shaped humanity's fate. This backstory could tie directly into Dune 3, giving Villeneuve even more material to build on. The show introduces Valia and Tula Harkonnen, two powerful sisters, and follows their journey as they manipulate events within the Sisterhood. Major moments include Tula using forbidden tech to bring Lila back to life after a failed ritual. The reveal that Lila's resurrection involved the thinking machine, Anarul and Desmond Hart's rise to power. The series ends with Tula reconnecting with her abandoned half-Atreides son, Desmond, a plot thread that could have big implications for Dune 3. Also, if Dune Messiah is expected to crank up the weirdness, Dune Prophecy is the perfect warm-up. The first season introduces some wild new elements that go beyond what we've seen in Villeneuve's Dune films. One of the biggest highlights is the Bene Gesserit's voice. It's already one of the most powerful abilities in the Dune universe, used by Lady Jessica and others to manipulate those around them. But Dune Prophecy takes it to another level by diving into its origins and showing how its creator had no moral restraints, making it even more dangerous. The show also introduces thinking machine technology and how it's used within the Bene Gesserit and beyond. This adds another layer of sci-fi strangeness that could easily carry over into Dune 3 and other future projects. Since Dune Messiah is already a step up in weirdness from the first two movies, Dune Prophecy helps set the stage for even more mind-bending elements in the franchise. Well, that's it for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, because we'll be covering more updates on this and other exciting upcoming movies and series. See you next time!